To eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this Monday, May 19th. It's 6:29. We are inching our way to 6:30 this morning. And Megan, it was a bit of a cooler start. I had some of that fog on my windshield. What do you call the back of? Is it the back windshield?
Yeah, I think it's, I'd say the back windshield is what it's
fog.
called. Yeah,
all over it. But what do we have today on our first alert weather day?
Well, we're looking at some chances of storms this afternoon. The good news is we're pretty calm this morning, though. Here's a look at satellite and radar. As you can see, just some clouds rolling into our region. But storm chances do enter our forecast as we're heading into the late afternoon, early evening hours for our southwestern counties. So that's anywhere from Pulaski to Wayne, McCreary, Whitley, Campbell, and Claiborne counties. As we're going into those next couple hours, current temperatures sitting in the 50s, 61 degrees in Monticello, and high temperatures of the day in the upper 70s, low 80s. We'll hit that high temperature as we're heading into that 4 o'clock mark for the day. Really looking at partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies for a majority of the region. But again, still have those storm chances as they're traveling more towards that Tennessee-Kentucky border. Amelia.
We continue this morning's storm coverage of the deadly tornado that damaged parts of Kentucky this past weekend. Laurel County was likely the hardest hit area in the path of the storm system that tracked more than 500 miles. In true Kentucky fashion, the people there have wasted no time in helping each other out during this devastating time. Alyssa Williams was in London to show us how recovery efforts are going so far.
While countless Laurel Countyans are picking up the pieces of their lives, there are several organizations that are stepping up right now to lend them a helping hand. Here on Meadow Lane Road in London, Friday night's tornado ripped apart Pearl Orrell's home.
I thought I was prepared for it, but I guess you never get prepared for it. I couldn't do anything but cry.
Orrell says through her darkest moments, various church groups have stopped by to offer a warm meal, water, and supplies to help get her back on her feet.
That means everything, to know that there's still a lot of good people in this world.
One of the church groups that stopped by was Faith Assembly of God. They were even helping to repair Tim Gilreath's home just up the street.
When you throw the amount of hands to it, and you know that they're here to help you no matter what, that's very touching.
While they're out in the hard-hit areas, volunteers were also back at the church, distributing supplies donated by Convoy of Hope and meals prepared by Mercy Chefs.
Mercy Chefs, we put love on a plate.
CEO and founder of Mercy Chefs, Gary LeBlanc, says after losing a grandmother and his daughter losing her home in Hurricane Katrina, he knows the importance of help like this.
Just to provide a moment of hope, a moment of comfort. It's where people really will contemplate their circumstances for the first time since the storm. It's a place where neighbors can help neighbors, and that is the best way to recovery.
In London, Alyssa Williams, WKYT.
LeBlanc says Mercy Chefs will be serving the survivors, first responders, and others in recovery efforts for as long as they're needed. London Mayor Randall Weddle shared these pictures on your screen now of the tornado track and some of the destruction. He said seeing the path of the tornado from the air was incredible. He also thanked everyone for the overwhelming response. Senators Brandon Storm and Rick Girdler, who represent Laurel and Pulaski counties, and Senate President Robert Stivers released a joint statement about Friday night's storms. It says in part, quote, local and state officials are working to get immediate help to those in need. If you're looking for a way to help, please do. Every act of kindness makes a difference. Our hearts are heavy, but our commitment to helping those communities rebuild is even stronger. When people think of a team, they might often associate that with teamwork. Now, typically that happens on a court, field, diamond, or some other sporting venue. But this past weekend, that teamwork happened at one coach's home. South Laurel Middle School athletes spent their day in a neighborhood near the Levi Jackson Wilderness Park. Several homes in this area were destroyed, including one belonging to the high school basketball assistant coach, Josh Smith.
It's just total devastation. It's like a war zone down here.
Never seen nothing like this. This is very scary. I feel bad for all the families that have been impacted from all this.
Students, faculty, and family members showed support for those who experienced damage. Folks with the Recovery Mill facility near the neighborhood also helped with cleanup, and they're offering food and drinks to people who need help or who were displaced. Luckily, they only experienced a busted window, but they do say that they'll be out helping people as long as it's needed. The mother of a dead 17-month-old pleaded guilty to murder in Bell County. Erica Lawson was sentenced to 20 years in prison. She appeared in Bell County Circuit Court Friday. The judge presiding over the case told WYMT she also pleaded guilty to other charges. Elena Hembry died in July 2023. Last week, we reported Harvey Gallahan was indicted by a grand jury in connection with this case. A Clay County man had a charge upgraded to murder after his grandmother died following a stabbing. A grand jury heard the case on Friday. The incident happened back on May 4th on Roots Branch Road. Police say Steven Centers is also facing 3 counts of attempted murder and 1 count of attempted assault. Centers is scheduled to appear in court May 27th. Deputies are asking for help after a shooting in Floyd County 2 Sundays ago. The Floyd County Sheriff's Office says a person was shot after being ordered out of his car and then robbed. Deputies searched the car Friday and say they found a gun that matches the description of the shotgun used.
So during the search, we're looking for a couple of the guns that one was used in the commission of the crime, one was taken from the victim during the robbery.
Sheriff John Hunt said the victim was visiting from out of state and pulled over to the side of the road to sleep overnight in his car. Deputies say a little after 11 he was approached by the unknown people who opened his car door and then ordered him out. It was then that he was robbed and after a few minutes allowed back into his car. The victim says the 2 unknown people then fired a shotgun into the rear of the car, striking him. A Pike County Circuit Judge pleaded not guilty in federal court. The Lexington Herald-Leader reports Howard Keith Hall faces 2 counts of mail fraud and 1 count of theft of government funds. According to his indictment, he hired a part-time county attorney during his time as the county prosecutor and paid the attorney more than $400,000 despite performing almost no work. His jury trial was set for July 14th in Frankfort. Former employees are taking legal action after they claim they were laid off without proper notice against Laurel County Grocery. One former employee who requested to stay anonymous told WYMT that on April 3rd, their boss told them some things would be changing and to not look for a job just yet. 6 days later, that's April 9th, the employee received verbal notice that April 11th would be their last day. The employee provided the following statement to WYMT, which states, quote, "They claim to be family-oriented and all employees are family. I didn't feel like family when I was laid off with almost no warning and being lied to by management," end quote. WYMT did reach out to the owners of Laurel Grocery multiple times, but have not yet heard back. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. There's a new London City Council member after a special meeting called on Friday morning. It comes after Holly Little resigned earlier this month. Jim Baker was unanimously chosen to fill that vacant seat. Baker is a lifelong London resident and served on the city's ethics board. He'll be sworn in tomorrow. One Southern Kentucky school district will have a new superintendent this fall. Dave Cox is retiring from his position as superintendent of the Corbin Independent School District. Cox worked for the school system for 33 years. His retirement is effective August 1st. A Hazard pharmacy recently reopened its doors after the February flood. Last Friday, Hometown Pharmacy celebrated with a ribbon cutting, free prizes, and hot dogs. Owner State Representative Derek Lewis says 33 inches of water caused significant damage to the building. But with help from the staff and the community, they're serving the folks once again.
We've had an excellent staff and we've really just had a rally around each other the past couple months to bring us to today, and we're happy to celebrate today with the community.
The lobby of the pharmacy reopened last month. If you were impacted by February's devastating floods, you're running out of time to apply for FEMA disaster recovery assistance. That deadline next Sunday, May 25th. You can apply in person at a FEMA disaster recovery center. You can also apply online. That's at disasterassistance.gov. The Pikeville Police Department closed out National Police Week by serving their community. The department hosted its community cookout at the Appalachian Wireless Arena Friday, using the opportunity to meet and mingle with first responders, community members, and the families of the men and women who serve the city. Officials say the event takes a spin on the week, which is devoted to celebrating law enforcement officers by using the day to celebrate the community, not the department.
All year long, we are surrounded by a community that supports us, and what we're doing here today is a way to give back to the community. So this is where we're just inviting everyone in, and we just want you to come sit down, share a meal with us, share some stories, have a good time, and let us thank you for everything that you've done.
Lockridge says the event is one of many ways the department tries to show the person behind the police badge.
Temperatures this morning are in the 50s, a little bit warmer for our southwestern counties, 61 degrees in Monticello. By the time we head into the afternoon, we're looking at a mixture of the mid to upper 70s and low 80s, warmest temperature as you're approaching that Kentucky-Tennessee border. Satellite and radar right now is nice and clear. This trend will change as we're heading into the afternoon. Most of the region will still be looking at partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies, but for our southwestern counties, we're looking at a chance of storms entering into our forecast, leaving a clearer overnight hours heading into your Tuesday, where more storm chances enter the forecast for all of eastern Kentucky. On the way to school, temperatures will be in the upper 50s with those partly cloudy skies. And as I mentioned, we see those slight chances for some storms as you're heading more towards the south. Temperatures in the upper 70s as you're heading home. Amelia.
Thanks for getting your day started with us on Mountain News this morning at 6:40. Teacher salaries in Kentucky remain amongst the lowest in the U.S., with more educators asking for competitive pay.